Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. Want to talk about when I talk to people or see people in the comments, or talk about this common reaction where, let's say I ask somebody, hey, are you going to do it? They got a lawyer. Are you going to do a deposition? Have you filed a motion? Have you done contempt? Have you tried to get on this, get on that? One of the most common responses, well, my lawyer, or but my lawyer won't let me, but my lawyer says this, but my lawyer says that. As if that's, I don't know, some people think it's a good excuse to say why they're not doing what it takes to fight for their kid. Like, if you're trying to lose weight and the answer is eat good foods and exercise and eat less calories, there's a couple of ingredients, do those things. You could say, but I'm always hungry, but there's always food in the fridge, but my family is always putting stuff in front of my face, but the gym's too far away, but I can't. I just gave you the answer. You either do it or you don't. But my lawyer this, but my lawyer that. This whole page is dedicated to the obvious answer that lawyers suck. And I even have people, I tell people, like, some people are so conditioned and brainwashed, or they got PTSD so bad from family court that, and it's understandable you got that, but you have no capability of listening to people. Because I'll tell people, I got custody of my daughter without an attorney. I've helped hundreds of dads do the same thing. I've helped thousands more get fair visitation or 50-50 who do better after they fire their attorney. Yeah, my attorney sucks. He won't let me go and fight for that. I just got done telling you it works if you fire your attorney and you're still stuck with the attorney. It's like somebody standing in front of the elephant at the circus. After a few months of that elephant being tied down with a metal chain, the elephant realized it can't move. So then they just put a rope around its ankle and it's not even tied to anything. And the elephant doesn't move because he's brainwashed to thinking, well, this is my plight in life. I can't move. I can't do anything. It's like you're saying, but my lawyer, but this ball and chain that ties me down, but this is holding me down. But if you fire your lawyer, you're free to do the other stuff. But my lawyer says this. Well, you can represent yourself. Well, I don't know the law or anything like that. The law is out there. Like, I have an answer for everything, and everybody has an excuse. You just don't want to fight yourself. Just call it what it is. You don't want to fight. You don't care to fight. You want somebody else to do it. You want somebody else to wave a magic wand. It's your kids in your life. Here's the thing with lawyers. Lawyers don't have to live with the consequences of their representation. Let me say that again. Lawyers don't have to live with the consequences of what they do and don't do for you. So guess what that means? They get paid either way. They don't care. And you're sitting here saying, but my lawyer, but my Lord and Savior, Joe Smith, Esquire. But my Lord and Savior, Joe Smith, attorney at law. But I worship them and I'm in the cult of worshiping lawyers. You know, when you go to court, I have people go in there and one time I went in and did some paperwork and the commissioner said, okay, is your lawyer here yet? And I said, I'm representing myself. Like, she looked at my paperwork and thought I must have a lawyer. There's a presumption that pro se's or self-represented litigants can't do anything. So what? These idiots are all up in the court system after there's been countless cases of people, not just me helping people, but countless cases of people representing themselves and doing just fine. Now, there's plenty of idiots who go in there and think, oh, let me go to court and they're going to help me out because the judge serves me. Anybody with half a brain can look at a lawyer and say that lawyer zealously advocates for their client and the system is coming down against their client, whether it's somebody prosecuting somebody for a crime that they didn't commit. You know, the prosecutor is your enemy if you're being falsely accused of a crime. So are the witnesses against you. So is that judge. The jury is your only buddy if they're going to be fair and objective. And really, your only advocate is your lawyer or public defender. And most of them suck. because they're overwhelmed. The prosecutor's got a bigger budget, and that's the nature of the beast. So when you're going to court, these people aren't there to serve you. They're not there to help you. I mean, this is kind of common sense if you just think about it, but my gender is so lazy and shiftless sometimes, we just assume somebody's going to help us out. Or we feel entitled to have somebody do something for us because we're a victim. If you got bullied at school, do you feel entitled for everybody to jump the bully and stand up for you? No, I mean, it's tragic that people won't, but people just don't do that. If you lose money or make a bad business deal or somebody screws you over, do you feel entitled that some millionaire is just going to endow you a bunch of money to take care of you the rest of your life to make up for what you suffered? No, nobody owes you anything. So why do you think you go to family court and the mother can get an attorney, if you're a dad, the mother can get an attorney and slander you and get a restraining order, and then all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball and you're losing and you look like a domestic violence perpetrating monster, and you think people are just going to take up for you? They're not. This is your life and the rest of your life with your kids. You need to have some kind of sense of urgency to do something drastic other than, I trust my lawyer, I trust my lawyer, I trust my lawyer, I trust my lawyer. But my lawyer says, but my lawyer won't do this. Your lawyer, you have to live with those kids and the consequences of you not fighting for them. The lawyer doesn't. The lawyer moves on and gets rich no matter how many people lose. And at some point, they might literally get callous to or sick and tired of the baby mama drama. The very first sign I had that a lawyer wasn't going to fight me was me calling a prospective lawyer from Goldberg and Jones, divorce lawyers for men, who are on, what's that guy's name? They used to be on a show on KISW, the rock and roll station in Seattle. Gosh, what's his name? He's a blonde guy in his 60s now. He used to come on right after Tom Likas. He was a Tom Likas wannabe. Yeah, I hate women. I love women who are down to earth and cool, but I hate the rest of them type of mentality. And gosh, anyway, this guy used to pump them up just because they said they were for dads. Okay? So I called Goldberg and Jones and I said, I work at night. I could be my daughter's daycare. I live 3 blocks away from her. You'll get every other weekend. I said, wait a minute, I'll get every other weekend. I'm available while the mother's at work. Why can't I be the child's daycare, so to speak? Daycare. You shouldn't call yourself daycare for the kid. You're the father. But, in order to talk to them and get, their understanding, why can't I be the child's daycare? And they said, you'll probably still get every other weekend. Even given all the facts I just told them. Click, buy, that's it. Because I actually have some brains and common sense and some balls to want to fight for more than just that. And I know that that's unjust for me to not be in my kid's life when I'm totally available and the mother's not even there for the kid. So, I'm following my conscience. Deep down, you guys know this isn't right. But all you want to do is my lawyer, my lawyer, my lawyer. You're not going to make, there's probably 0.1%, 0.01%. I've met like 3 good lawyers in 20 years, or 4 good lawyers in 20 years. And even then, I disagree with them literally 50% of the time on the way they're doing stuff because they're still lawyers and they still have to cater to the system and still have to do stuff certain ways and still have to I can't go that harsh. Well, let's not do that. Well, James, maybe you should settle. I didn't even listen to my lawyer when I had a lawyer for the short period of time. I did the paperwork. I drafted stuff up. I was able to do what I needed to do when I did have a lawyer. I had a short period of time where I had a lawyer. I was afraid to go to trial without one. Now I realize I'd have been better being a lawyer myself. But I did all the work as if I was the only time that lawyer ever lifted a finger is when he came to court and I told him what to say in court. He read through my paperwork pretty thoroughly too. But outside of that, you know, the lawyer didn't do too much. So, you know, I didn't listen to everything that the lawyer said. So I had a period of time where I actually had two lawyers. I got a lawyer on board because a friend of a friend got me a discount. I gave a lawyer a $500 retainer, and he wanted to hurry up and settle right away. He's like, good news, they want to settle. That was their whole setup in the first place. This is when I went back to court the second time. I went back to court the second time. The mother was trying to modify the parenting plan. And she hadn't seen our daughter for a year and a half. Her time should have been reduced, and she was seeking an increase in time and objecting to my relocation. So we were in court for a year and a half. And my lawyer's like, man, maybe you should just settle. Because he was getting burnt out on my case and tired of it. I said, no, I'm not settling. Are you crazy? And then I got a bad ruling by a judge. And I went to the Court of Appeals and did what's called a motion for discretionary review and had them intervene in the middle of the case. And they accepted review, which means I was going to win. And then the mother dropped the case. She never wanted to go to trial. It was all a bluff to get me to mediate, and the attorney wanted to give in to that. I'm like, I'm not selling that. And then the case was dismissed because I persevered and I put my foot down with my own attorney. So I've had an attorney. I'm kind of glad I had an attorney for a little bit. You guys would say, well, you don't know what it's like to have an attorney and stuff. Yeah, I do. And I know what it's like to tell the attorney what to do because the attorney works for me. So the first guy that I got a real discount for gave me the discount effort. And I eliminated him right away. I found somebody else who was totally aggressive and wanted to destroy the other side because he saw my paperwork and the audacity of the mother to talk crazy about me. And he did get on the offensive, and he basically almost got in a fight with the opposing attorney in the hallway. And he was talking smack to the guy. See, a lot of you guys, you won't light a fire under your own attorney. I had an attorney, after I won a hearing, he's sitting in the court hallway drafting up the winning order that I won. And he's like sitting to me and saying, these people are sitting, and he's talking, because the guardian ad litem's in the hallway. The mother's attorney's in the hallway. They're sitting there waiting. It's like, these people sitting here and attacking you, and you're taking care of the kid, and the mother isn't around? I guess they think you're on drugs. Oh, wait a minute, James, you've never done alcohol your whole life, right? And I'm like, no. Yeah, he hasn't even done alcohol. And he's yelling down the hallway, taunting them. Just like the mother's attorney taunts you. But your sissy punk coward attorney won't do anything, and you won't light a fire under their butt, so you just take it. Stop taking this crap. You don't have to know anything or everything or whatever that you're afraid of that's keeping you from representing yourself. I knew nothing when I went into family court. I hit the ground running. When I got 5 days a week, you guys could check out my store online. And you could download for free. There's a store and there's some items that are free. Those are my winning court orders. The one from June 1st when I got 5 days a week visitation, I went from 0 to 5 days a week visitation. I barely knew anything back then. I just was on the offensive and scrambling and slapping stuff together. And I won the court over because I won the court over because I got in court and said, look, this lady's holding the child from me. Here I am, a good dad, never done drugs, alcohol. Here I am. Here's emails from the mother saying, here's how we have it planned out. Here's this and that. And I went in there and called a spade and called her stupid and dumb with, other terms. I said, I care less whether I talk to her ever again. I just want to see my kid in this day and age of fathers not being involved. Here I am, and she wants to push me out. I did such an extreme example. You got to put on a show in court and make a really colorful example. And when the other side says or does something against you, oh, he's upset because she broke up with him. I care less whether I talk to her ever again. I just stole the rug out from under her. She has no argument. Or he's a monster. Well, why'd she let me have the kid overnight? Like, people won't even bring stuff like that up. So screw this but my lawyer stuff. You either want to fight or you don't. You make your lawyer fight or you fire him and learn how to do it yourself. That's what works. You want to do what works? Do what works.